Hi there and welcome to another edition of the Gazette's weekly Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Rick Green and Chris Nilan. Well guys, an impressive 3-2 overtime win by the Canadiens over the Vegas Golden Knights Tuesday night at the Bell Center. Jakub Dobes making 32 saves and improving his season record to 16-5-3. He now has a 2.96 goals against average and an .890 save percentage. Knuckles, has he done enough to now be the number one goalie?
I think he already had. I just think, the coaching staff here is, I think, trying to, have that respect for Montembeault and let's give him a chance to get his game back. But I think he's had certainly more than enough opportunity to try and do that, and he's still struggling. I mean, the numbers aren't there. This team has given up more than 3.5 goals a game. Like you can't win with that down the road in the playoffs. You have to have that corrected. Now, listen, there's two teams that are letting less than 2.5 goals a game in, and that's Colorado and Tampa. That's it. The rest of the league is, the high twos, or majority of the league is over 3. So they're scoring more goals. There's no question about it, the whole league. But, boy, that loose coverage and, when you start seeing goals going in from the point in this day and age, like the odd time they're gonna, but when you're letting them in from the point, like the winning goal in Boston, you just can't have it. You can't have that. I get it, and I stuck up for this kid before in the goaltenders because, those loose coverages that we saw early in the year, missing coverage around the front of the net, in the slot, those high danger chances they were given, basically tap in goals that are difficult for goaltenders to stop, the pass across, all those things. But, they've done a better job in that area, there's no question. But when you're letting in goals from the point like that and losing those close hockey games because of it, not a good thing. So, yeah, I promote Dobish, no question about it.
Well, this team, Rick, they score a lot of goals. They're top 5 in offense. They don't need Carey Price type goaltending, right? They don't need their goalies to stand on their head. They just need like a 900 save percentage or something like that. Do you think Dobish can provide that moving forward?
Well, one thing will never change, and that's stability back there. And when you've got a guy and you have the team in front of him that feels confident, and I think and I sense that there's a different feel with Dobish in the net versus Montembeault, feeling that they are confident that he's going to get the job done. And in looking at, the way that Dobish has performed, he's got 16 wins. There's 4 in a row now. He's making those saves at appropriate times. It gives the team a chance to stay in it. And, it's a situation where bottom line here is you got to get the job done. And right now, Dobish is doing it. And he deserves every opportunity to continue to do it because they know, or everybody knows, they can't afford to lose any points down the stretch here. And any team that's going to have any success moving forward, especially now when things are going to get really tight, you have to have good goaltending each and every night. And right now they have Dobish that is on, and he's doing the job, and the team feels good about him. So let's roll with him.
Speaking with Jake Evans after he scored the overtime winner against Vegas, he said one of the things he likes about Dobish is how competitive he is, and one of the things he doesn't like about him is how competitive he is because he won their NFL fantasy football league this season and was very confident and cocky talking about it and rubbing it in with the guys. But Knuckles, you talked about Dobish had maybe done enough already before the game against Vegas to be the number one goalie. Were you surprised then that you saw Marty St. Louis go back with Montembeault in Boston after he didn't look too great in the loss to Buffalo, back-to-back losses against division rivals?
Yeah, listen, I was surprised, but then again, I'm saying, no, I'm not, because some guys have a shorter leash on this team. Dobish being one, Jack another one. I mean, come on, call a spade here. And it's just, listen, the coach has done a great job with this group. There's no question about it. But it's never going to be perfect, okay? But, boy, it just seems, I look, Abba had 8 minutes last night. 8 and 8 minutes and 14 seconds. I mean, does that breed confidence in a guy? And I know he had a giveaway, but shit, he's not the only guy. I mean, there's guys that get, little Laine Hudson got caught up ice how many times last night and made mistakes like that. And I get it. He's a different player. No question about it. But you get one giveaway and then you get your ass buried. I mean, how does that translate in your head when you sit there? Here we go again. So some guys, again, they have that shorter leash. I know what a short leash is.
Yeah, and they're going to need Arbor in the playoffs. I mean, as you said, Knuckles, you've said so many times, they need more men, and
yeah,
he's a man. Rick, this week, Elliot Friedman reported that on Sportsnet that the Minnesota Wild are willing to trade rookie goalie Jesper Wallstedt, 23 years old, 13-5-4 record, 2.66 goals against average, .914 save percentage, and 4 shutouts. They already have Philip Gustafsson in goal in Minnesota. He's signed just signed a 5-year contract extension, $34 million. Should the Canadiens be thinking at this point about the possibility of making a trade for a goalie, whether it's for Wallstedt or somebody else?
I think without question. I think from our experience, we've had success as players knowing that we have a guy back there in the pipes that is going to get the job done. And I think they have to entertain any type of opportunity to make themselves better in that goaltending position. And it's a question of what it's going to take if there is an opportunity to make a trade. And you really have to have outstanding goaltending in order for you to advance. And there's no secret there. And, we're just concerned that the stability factor is going to have to be there. They're going to have to be able to get some really consistent, above-average goaltending if they're going to do anything down the stretch here. And, as far as Montembeault goes, putting him in Boston, you have to give Martin St. Louis full credit for saying, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not going to cut him short, but now's the time to say, well, he didn't get the job done. We're going to have to ride the hot hand, and somebody's going to have to take second position in that goaltending role. And hey, that's life in the business. And bottom line here is you have to have your goaltender your very best each night.
I wonder, Knuckles, Wallstedt's 23. The Habs already have a young goalie, Jacob Fowler, down in Laval, considered the goalie of the future. I don't know if that factors into the decision. Do you think, though, Knuckles, we might see Jacob Fowler back with the Canadiens sooner rather than later?
Well, there's a possibility. Again, it's going to depend on what the leash they have with Montembeault. Mm-hmm. How long is that leash? It has been pretty long so far, and so I don't know. I thought it'd be maybe back up before the playoffs, but you just never know. And talking about bringing this other goalie in, what do you got to give up for him? I know they got some extra players here they could probably do something with, but is that what Minnesota would want? Would they want a Laine? Would they want something? Would they want a goalie in return for a backup? So you got to see, and then you bring him in. Then you got just say it was Montembeault. You got Dobish, you got Fowler, and you got this kid now. What do you do? So listen, I'm sure these guys are always looking for ways to improve and get that right ingredients here for playoff hockey. And I don't think they're quite there yet as far as the ingredients for playoff hockey, what they're getting there. So, it's a tough one there. But, I like Fowler. I mean, his numbers are good. He has good numbers here. Yeah, he was, 4-4, 4 wins, 4 losses, but his numbers are good. And that'll translate into more wins, provided this team is able to, fix some things in their own end and stop winning those close hockey games like they did last night.
Well, Rick, sorry, go ahead, Rick.
No, I was just going to say they're fortunate they have some guys that have in the goaltender position that are able to do the job, and maybe down deep they would love to get Montembeault up and playing well. And who knows, maybe he might be in the mix for a possible trade if they can get him back on track and draw something, because they have to make a decision on moving forward with what they have in goaltenders and make the move. So maybe they're looking at putting together a package to try and move Montembeault, but right now they they don't have time with 4 games left before the Olympic break. They got to win and they got to get their points. They got to stay right in that mix. And they got to go with the hot hand, and Dobish looks like he's a hot
Yeah,
hand.
it won't be easy with Colorado coming in here on Thursday either. Rick, one of the questions now is like, who's going to play on that number one line with Suzuki and Caulfield? Kirby Dach came back from his injury, played 2 games there. They took him off. Alexandre Texier is back there. Who should be there playing with them right now, do you think?
Well, Texier earned the opportunity to be up there, and he produced, and that's what they're hoping for. He's a pleasant surprise, and he seems to complement that group. And why not throw him back there and let him feel good about his game and do his part in contributing to helping those other guys succeed. And it's a good position to be in, that organization, to have some guys that they can put in and move around and still get some production. But why not, go with Tessier back in that position, because he seems to have some success there.
Knuckles, I think they'd like to have a big body playing with Caulfield and Suzuki. Dach is a big body. At his midseason news conference, Ken Hughes spoke about, there's big guys who play small and small guys who play big. And Kirby Dach, I don't know if it's because of all the injuries or whatever, he seems timid physically and sort of like a big guy playing small. Did you sort of see the same thing? And do you think he can eventually play with those 2 guys?
Kirby Dach?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he has to just get in some games and get his confidence back and get healthy. Yeah, he has a talent to play with him. There's no question. Is he going to complement them? And it's going to take him time. Look how long he's been out. Like, I feel so bad for this kid. The injuries he's had, it's just been terrible. His start to his career, 2 big knees, like ACLs. Come on, to come back from that, just to get back in the lineup and then try and be an effective player. It's not easy. So I think they're going to work with him. They're going to try and accommodate him, thinking that, geez, if he does bounce back and he can stay healthy, this is a big body we're going to need in the playoffs. So, we'll see what goes on there. Texier, he made a place for himself there. There's no question. And I'm sure things will shake out for this team, and they'll figure out who they want there out of the 2 of them, or maybe someone else. But I certainly wouldn't put Slav back there. When you get, it gives you 2 potential dangerous lines, right? They've been looking for that second line centerman. They have them. And that second line now is really effective. This team for so long has been kind of a one-line team, and here we go.
Yeah, and Dach seems hesitant, like finishing checks in that. And I was talking with Caden Goalie, who has a long history of injuries also, and he was saying coming back from injuries, it's as much mental as anything else. Like, your body's healed and you still have in the back of your mind, so you're sort of thinking about that. And for Dach moving forward, he's going to have to find a way to put that behind him. Look, you look like you want to say something there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a guy that's been out, that long, first of all, it's tough to find your groove. And then there's always that thing in the back of your mind. Oh, no, am I going to hurt myself again? A classic example. I mean, he tries to get involved. He gets in a fight and he slices his finger in his fight. I'm going, oh, no. I was like, going, no, not again, Anyways, it worked out okay. But in all fairness to Kirby Dach, let's make sure that we cut him a little bit of slack from the standpoint of give him an opportunity to find his way. Let's not be too critical about him. He's dealt with a lot, and he's a kid that's well liked. He has a position and an opportunity to show his stuff. Now let's watch him develop and find his game back, and hopefully stay healthy and see what he's all about.
Well, Knuckles, another big body they have is Patrick Laine, who's been practicing full contact sweater. He looks good. Looks like he's almost ready to return. When he is ready to return, do they find a spot for him, Knuckles? Do they maybe try him with Caulfield and Suzuki? What do they do?
I don't know if I put him with Caulfield and Suzuki. Who's going to get him the puck? Caulfield and Suzuki? They want someone there who's going to get the puck to Suzuki and Caulfield. So he's not going to go in and get the puck. He's going to be waiting for it. And, even if he does, his forecheck is very limited. doesn't hang on to pucks in the offensive zone. And, it just, I might seem harsh on him, but, man, we saw what he did on the power play last year. That was great. But his 5-on-5 play just really lacking. And I don't think that's conducive to what this coach and this organization is trying to build here. When they talk about accountability and going on the ice and expectations of players. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see him going back there. Do they give him another shot to get him in the lineup to either see what he can do or move him? We'll see.
That's what I'm thinking. They put him in just to even showcase him before the March 6th trade deadline and see if they can get something. Rick, I'm wondering if maybe he could help on the power play because at least he's going to shoot the puck. One thing, the Canadiens power play, they pass it around beautifully, but they don't seem to shoot enough.
Yeah, it's no question on that front. He's going to let it rip, and he's good at it. But his track record is out there. You talk about possibly putting him in to showcase him for a trade. Well, everybody in the league is not stupid. They know what he's all about. They know what he brings. They know what he doesn't bring. The bottom line with this group is I don't know whether he fits in the mix of what they have going on with the players that they currently have. And it'd be a tough nut to crack for him to get in there and make an impact, especially when they have that kind of depth that they do have in the organization right now.
Yeah, Canes were able to get Laine for almost nothing. Jordan Harris, and they also got a second-round pick coming back from Columbus in that trade also. And Knuckles, we were talking earlier about the possibility of a trade, maybe for a goalie. One of the top prospects the Canadiens have is center Michael Hage, the leading scorer at the World Junior Championship. Would you, if you were Kent Hughes, would you listen to trades? You didn't even let me finish. Yeah. You wouldn't listen to any trades for Michael Hage. You're not letting him go.
Listen, we've heard it here, since the Bergevin era. We got to get stronger up the middle. We got to get better up the middle. Well, now you got Suzuki, okay? You got
Captain.
And
Dano and
you got Hage coming. Come on. Like, that you're going to have a strong middle, and you can build around that. But, boy, you got that now. Don't get rid of it. And I think the potential of Fowler and certainly Dobish and whatever happens with Montembeault, who knows. But yeah, I think they're all set there for now. And yeah, I wouldn't move Michael Hage. I'd hang on to him.
Yeah, I agree, Knuckles. I think when they picked up Dano with one more year in his contract, I think it fits in perfect for Hage's development. You got Dano for one more year. Hage, if he turns pro after this season at University of Michigan, goes and plays a year in Laval, and then maybe you're ready to step in. Rick, do you agree? You're hanging on to Michael Hage?
I don't totally agree. He's a prospect. Yes, he's proven that he can do some good things, but you have to entertain any type of possible trades for him that might have an impact with the organization. He's a young guy. You can't do something obviously on a short-term fill, but I think that if he draws a name that you think can fit in your group to have a real big impact as a young player, why not look at it? And, the conversation has to be had.
I'm going to go back to you, Rick, for our last question here for the show. As the former defenseman, who's been the Canadiens' best defenseman this season?
Well, this guy named Hudson, I don't know. He's playing a game, and he's like, are you kidding me? This guy is on another wavelength. I mean, every game I watch him go, and he does things that are just mind-boggling at such a young age with the speed and determination and his desire to compete. Amazing kid that's developed such great ability to make the adjustments at the NHL level, and look at what he brings each and every shift. And he's hungry, and he's obviously the number one guy that is just going to keep getting better.
Knuckles, you agree?
Yeah, I do. I hate to agree with Rick, but like he hates to agree with me. No. Certainly Hudson, but Mike Matheson, he's been awesome this year, and the heat he took when this a young team was learning how to play in their own end. And listen, yeah, there was some times he had some mistakes on the ice, but, power play, penalty kill, regular shift, they were playing the crap out of him. And now with the limited PP action, right, he's really stepped up, penalty killing. He's been really good, Mike Matheson, but I got to give him a close second for what he's done. I really impressed with this kid. He comes, he's a consummate, keep your mouth shut, play hockey, and do your thing. Awesome for him. But yeah, got to be Hudson.
No, Matheson's really impressed me, and I think bringing in Dobson, Rick, has helped also because now Hudson doesn't have to play against the other team's top lines all the time. I think it's really helped him, and that Dobson-Matheson pairing, you watch them break out of the defensive zone and they make it look easy. I mean, you used to coach the Canadiens defense. You must watch that and must put a smile on your face.
Well, I was going to mention Dobson as a guy that he doesn't draw a lot of attention, right? He's just Johnny on the spot, as we say. He's always positionally sound. He's always making good decisions. He's mobile. He's smart, and he complements Matheson in so many ways. And when you have a pairing like that back there that do a lot of things well, no matter what the situation is, it's nothing but a bonus. But Dobson, again, one of those silent leaders, a guy that does so many things so well, is a great addition to the defensive core. And you got to have guys like that, a big body that is going to get in the way, and he's not going to make many mistakes. You know what you're going to get from him every game, and he's doing it. And I'm happy for all those guys back there that seem to be really tight knit. With great chemistry and complement each other as far as pairings go.
And those three guys, Dobson, Matheson, Hudson, all locked up with long-term contracts, which is good for the Canadiens' future. Anyway, that's it for this week's Hockey Inside Out show. I hope you all enjoyed it. The Canadiens are back in action Thursday night at the Bell Center against the Colorado Avalanche, who will be wearing the old Quebec Nordique sweaters, which I'm sure will bring back memories for you two guys. That'll be one of our bonus episodes coming up later this week. It's the final home game for the Canadiens before the Olympic break. They will then face the Sabres Saturday in Buffalo, the Wild Monday in Minnesota, and the Jets next Wednesday in Winnipeg before the Olympic break. As I mentioned, bonus episode. We'll have 3 bonus episodes coming up over the next few days, so look for those. And Hockey Inside Out is also available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Lastly, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel.